Hey, Kirah.
Hey, Zach.
How are you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, good, good. I'm excited about your webinar that you're doing Saturday, March 6th at 1 p.m. Pacific called The Birth Chart of the World. It's super exciting. It would be wild if people didn't know who you were at this point, considering you're the director of Fresh Voices. But in case there's some new folks, tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice.
Sure. Yeah. This is cool. This is my first webinar as director. I did
Right.
a webinar in like February 2020, which is
Mm,
wild, like a year ago before I
that's
became
crazy.
director. But yeah, so I am an astrologer, an educator, and an author. Um, I do a lot of things, but mainly, yeah, lots of astrology stuff. I do readings. I write. I'm working on a book right now, and then I direct Fresh Voices. And I also started a membership community called the 11th House, and then I also just launched my first course, so that's getting started in the next couple weeks.
So exciting.
So yeah, lots of teaching and just sharing. Oh, and then of course I have a podcast as well. So the
Oh,
Astrology
yes.
Show, wherever you listen to podcasts. And I just talk to other astrologers about astrology, and it's been really fun so far.
Yeah. Season 2 out now, right?
Yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about your webinar.
Sure. Yeah. So the birth chart of the world is a term that's used to describe the Thema Mundi,
Mm,
which is a chart that basically it's a teaching tool. It's not actually the birth chart of the world. No one would really know what the birth chart of the world looked like,
mm,
but it's a tool used by the ancients to um, it sort of explains a lot of different concepts and not theories, but like techniques that we use in traditional astrology, from the rulership schema, to the exaltation
yeah.
schema, to like even the aspects. It does a really good job of sort of like making it all click in your head and like putting
Mm,
it all together. And yeah, so I'm basically just going to be teaching about the Thema Mundi, and showing like all the different ways you can use it to sort of help illustrate these different schemas within traditional astrology. So it's really good for beginners. It's also really good if you're like thinking about my course and you want to see my teaching style.
yeah.
It would be, I think, because we're definitely going to be covering this in the course too. This is sort of like a primer. But yeah, I think it's just going to be good for anyone who's into traditional astrology and doesn't know about the Thema Mundi, because it'll
Yeah.
really help kind of like put all of it together in your brain.
Yeah. Take people's practices to the next level in learning and in um, yeah, and just like yeah, understanding the schema behind how everything works and why we see these exaltations and we see these domicile placements and how they interact with each other. Super important. Super important.
Yeah.
Um, well, tell people where they can find you.
Sure. Yeah. You can find me at theastrology.com. I'm at theastrology on Instagram and Clubhouse.
Mm,
And I'm at theastrology underscore on Twitter. And then if you're interested in joining the 11th house, which is my membership community, which is really fun. We basically like gather on the new moons and the full moons. And then we also
mm,
have guest workshops. There's a forum. You get access to all my webinars, my chart reading framework, which is astrology that
wow.
hits. You get access to that too. You get a whole lot
Wow.
when you
Wow. Wow.
join the
Yeah.
11th house, and you can join yearly or quarterly. And the doors are open right now for the second cohort, and they're open until March 10th.
Mm,
And then the same with my course. My course is a fundamentals course, really just teaching like literally like the fundamentals, the
yeah.
system underneath astrology. And you should leave knowing how to read charts and being really good at it,
Mm,
as well as just like being able to use astrology in a way that um, you might not be able to fully grasp while just like learning little bits and pieces off the internet from blogs and podcasts and stuff. Like this is really going to help put it all together.
yeah.
So yeah, the course is open. The course registration is open until March 10th as well, and there's scholarships too, full and partial
Mm,
scholarships
perfect.
available. So you can find all of that on my website.
Incredible, incredible. Well, super excited about this webinar. It's going to be super great to have people learn more about the Thema Mundi and get a little sneak peek to how your teaching style and to your fundamentals course. It's really exciting. So yeah, again, it's on Saturday, March 6th at 1 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for joining, Kirah. Excited
Thank
to see you.
you. Can't wait.